Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles. My name is Danny De Lillo, and I'm so delighted to be here with Kameishia with her incredible, wonderful, delightful movie, Destiny's Road. But for those that haven't seen it, let's take a look at the clip.
Yeah, you got this.
Kameishia, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for bringing your film to us. It was a treat and a joy. But for those that haven't seen it, tell us a brief synopsis of your film.
Destiny's Road is a film about a recent high school graduate who finds out on her graduation day that her tuition money has been stolen. So she has to go to her graduation party and keep this a secret from her family members who are excited for her for being the first one in the family to go to college.
I mean, this story it literally touched you in the heart, in the gut. It's so beautiful. Destiny is such a lovely character, lovely person, and her relationship with her grandma is just wonderful to watch and to see. Where did you decide to create this particular story? When was that moment for you when you wanted to turn this into a film?
Um, Destiny's Road started out as a feature screenplay, and because I didn't have the money to shoot the feature, um, I wanted to still showcase the essence of the film, which is about family. So I decided to adapt a short film from it, and that is how Destiny's Road, the short film, came about. And also, I would say that it's heavily is inspired by my relationship with my grandmother, and also been the first one in my family to go to college.
Oh, well, God bless her and God bless you for making this film and showing your amazing, legacy and relationship that you have with each other. And that's amazing. I was also the first one to go to college in my family too. And I have a great relationship with my grandma. So I was really excited to meet with you today just to say thank you for making this film. I think the relationship between a grandchild and a grandmother is a very special one for a lot of people, and the support. And obviously, family comes in many different ways. Some people are brought up by their grandparents as well, and have a very strong relationship with them. What was fascinating about this? Your casting was amazing. Like, I just wanted to just hang out with them all. Like, they were just a really good group of people. How was the casting process for you?
The casting process was amazing. I worked with the casting director. Her name is Denise Jackson, and she's an actress herself. And so we did the traditional route with casting, and a lot of people were interested in Destiny. Like, it was super hard to choose. I think I had at least 30 women or 30 young ladies come out to audition for Destiny. And yeah, and that was hard for the grandmother. Actually, Hilda, who played the grandmother, resembles my own grandmother, and I actually teared up during her audition, so I knew immediately that that was the grandmother.
Oh
Yeah.
wow. She's so special. Like, her energy on screen, I was like, oh my goodness, it was just, you could feel all those things a grandmother feels, and the worry they have as a grandmother. It was just resonated so well on screen. I mean, listen, when you're taking something that's a little bit personal, like, that Fina obviously being the first person to go to college, the expectancy, and then also the trials and tribulations of life with this kind of awful situation that she's having to deal with as well. How do you work as a director working with your cast with a subject and storyline that's it's hard hitting, and it's also tough for her to go for at such a young age as well?
Um, the initial part of writing it is hard. I think the hardest part is writing it. That's when the personal aspect of it really comes out. And then after you write it, it gets more technical. Like, I submitted it to my writers group. They gave me feedback to how to structurally make it better, or thematically. And so I take those, and at some point you have to detach from the personal part of it and just tell the best possible story that you can. And so that is what I did. I eventually detached from the project as personal, because definitely,
Right.
is inspired by my own experience, but just letting the character take a life of its own is is the point that I believe filmmakers need to get to, and the point where I feel like I got to when creating this piece is just detaching from the characters and let them live and breathe.
Absolutely. I mean, as you know, when it's a kind of, that coming of age, there's so much that lies on these young shoulders, and the worry and the fear and everything else. But the horrible thing that a lot of, young people have to go through is the finances of college, and even the opportunity to go to college in the first place. And so the fact that she's so bright, got such a prosperous career ahead of her and everything, and then this situation happens, like, you just captured it so well, of just, just the struggle, and also the struggle within family too, and how you deal with those kind of situations when you're kind of dealing with like delicate subjects like this, and working with your actors. Like, do you let them improvise? Do you kind of work with them? What's your kind of process in working with your actors?
I let them improvise a bit, and then but within the realms of the story, not like to the point where they're rewriting the script, but I like sharing personal or inspirations behind the story and the whole family. And I can talk about a little bit the inspiration behind the whole family coming together. Not that it's autobiographical, but there was a point in my life in college where I wanted to study abroad,
Huh?
and I got accepted into the program, but I didn't have the money. And
Yeah.
so um, I was the first person to travel internationally to in my family. But I just remember my father going to all the businesses in my small town and asking for donations, and everybody rallying through in my hometown and my family to get money for me to study abroad. And he raised the money within a week. Like, I had the money to study abroad within a week. And and that inspired the ending of the story. And so sharing stories like that with my cast to kind of let them know the personal touch to it helps them. And then I let them improvise from there, like based upon the knowledge that I share with them, and then figure out like what is their journey in that role, and kind of let them run with it.
Wow. Kamisha, my mom is a single parent, and she did the same thing your dad did. She tried money. We had no money for me to go to college. I'm the only person. And so we literally rallied around the same way you did. So I really resonated with that. And just, the fear of money has always been something that I've always had to grow up with as well. And so it's amazing, isn't it? When,
Yeah.
family come together and you're like, wow, I've got a good parent, this is so special. And I mean, listen, that was a truly touching moment. And I'm sorry, I want to talk about all your other perspectives, but this story is such a wonderful story. I could go on for days. But like, I also, going through that journey, I love the way that she just, she carried on her shoulders, this obviously the relationship with, obviously, talking about the parent, the mom and everything, and then what was going on behind the scenes, but we didn't need to see it. We already felt there was a lot of energy in that sense. And it was about, but the greatness is that she's so special, the character, because she's about, as Destiny is about coming to a resolution, and like, how can we make it work? And, I felt so sorry on her shoulder, but her speech that she made was like a speech that everybody should hear. It was
Yeah.
really, was that something that you really kind of wanted to arc, was the opportunity of resolution, and coming through very, very difficult circumstances, and hopefully getting to the point of making it happen still regardless.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I think what people don't understand about being the first is that you have a weight on your shoulders. Like for me being the first, and I was the oldest kid, so I felt like I had to be that role model for my siblings and for my cousins who were coming up behind me. And there's just a weight of that, like a weight that you can't mess up. That there are so many people depending on you, and I think also people being proud of you and you not wanting to disappoint. And so um I think that piece is the monologue I'll say in the film came from that, like just knowing that the weight of the world not, is kind of on your shoulder when you're the first.
Well, absolutely. I love the score. I thought the music flowed really well and suited the scenes as well. And I love the way that it was the color, the way that it was shot was so like, it was so beautiful. It was almost like dreamlike, It was almost like I was going to someone's dream. Was there a particular way that you wanted to shoot it to kind of like, I don't know, it just felt captivating, like I was in a dream or something.
Yeah, I want it to be bright because the storyline, is kind of heavy. So I wanted to have balance between the drama as well as the hope. So, because hope was a theme in the film, and I wanted to have like, I wanted to show that through the lighting, through the compositions.
Mhm.
Um, so that was the inspiration behind that. The music, I love music. I'm also a classical singer too. So music
Oh,
is, yeah. Yes, I sing, I studied like opera and I sing classical, I sing in the choir. So I love music. Music is such a huge element. So I'm always trying to figure out a way, the best way to incorporate music into my stories.
yeah. Well, we got to get you singing on your next film. Goodness me.
I,
Right there, definitely. Well, the one of the things that is it was special was when again jumping around, but going back to when she handed the necklace and just how much these sentiment moments and that there are. Was did you kind of, because I mean that's significant when your grandparent gives you something like that. Did you kind of, I don't know, was there any kind of what made you make that choice? Because I really love that she had that moment with her when she gave her the necklace.
oh, yes, the necklace was symbolic of faith.
Yeah.
I think one thing that has helped me personally get through tough times is my faith. And my grandmother actually instilled that in me early on, taking me to church with her, making sure I was in vacation Bible school, like making sure that I can rely on my faith, um,
Yeah.
whenever times were hard.
Yeah, I love that flowed through the whole story, and you go, and you must always listen to your grandma when it comes to good faith. So most definitely, it was really beautifully articulated. What was so nice as well is just I don't know. Sometimes I think that in life we don't always know or how to ask for help, and I love that just it was friends and family and coming around and just admitting to a moment like I don't really know how I'm going to get through this moment, and I think we're all in a very weird place right now around the world. But was that kind of significant of just asking for help, and look what happened, it changed. But was that kind of something that was important to incorporate in the story for you, or did you think about that when you were writing it?
I did. Well, I really wanted to show the power of family and that helps, your family is your help or sometimes your first source for
Mhm.
help. And sometimes you don't even have to ask family, like they just know. And it's about love. Like, you don't want anyone that you love to suffer.
Yeah.
So that help, I think, came from the family love.
Yeah, definitely. And listen, I think as well, coming from, sort of a broken family as well, what I really enjoyed about just seeing this relationship is that, even if you've not got the conventional family that we see, doesn't mean, it doesn't mean you haven't got one great parent or one good grandparent that can, empower you and change your life, and enhance your life in a way that you'll never forget. And I love that you showed that because, more often than not, we just kind of see the same old thing, where it's a certain way. Was that, again, something that you were thinking about when you're writing it? Because I thought that was a really important element for other people to appreciate and enjoy too.
Oh yeah, definitely. I wanted to show, I'm from the South, and growing up, I was close to everyone, my aunts, uncles, second, third cousins, like we were just a tight knit bunch. And I always had support, even if, my parents were working. My father was a long distance truck driver. Um, so whenever like if there was a need, someone was always there to step in. Like if my mom couldn't make it to a school program, my aunt was there.
Oh, it's
So I always had family support and I wanted to
great
show that.
family. You got a great family, Kamisha. Sorry to interrupt. You got. I want to your family is just what a supportive bunch of people that you have in your family. It's amazing to you know to hear that as well. Listen, I want to talk about. I was you know I really loved again how you shot the film. It was really great. But how what was the biggest challenge maybe you might have felt in production? Was there any kind of challenges there or things that you kind of overcame?
Yes. Money is always a challenge being an independent filmmaker. So I think this was definitely an improvement from previous projects. So I'm super grateful for that. I think I got everything I wanted. Um, the challenges, we work with a small crew. So I think the challenges were making sure sometimes the PA was the not only the PA, but the assistant camera person did slate. There may have been times where I've stepped in to do, craft services
Yep.
as a director. I had a really great team, but some of us had to wear multiple hats
Well,
throughout the production.
yeah. But I think when you've got a good team though, and you all kind of mucking together, and it doesn't matter at the end of the day because look at the production that you've made. It's amazing and so special. Well, listen, we really loved having your film with us at New Filmmakers LA, and it was so nice at the film festival to just get the experience in this virtual platform. How has it been for you sharing this film? Obviously with us, but with other audiences as well. How's that experience been for you? I know it's obviously a very interesting time to showcase your film. So how has that been for you?
It's been great for the most part. COVID has definitely made this experience unexpected. I was expecting to travel for film festivals, but I think I was able to screen it once at an actual festival in January. And then after that, everything went virtual. But I can't say New Filmmakers has been one of the best experiences so
Oh,
far to show the film. And audiences have been responding to it well. And surprisingly, it's really impacted faith-based audiences. I hadn't planned on making or planned for this to be faith-based, but apparently it's responding well to those audiences.
that's amazing. I mean, that's amazing, isn't it? It's
Hmm.
really nice because I mean, listen, the more people that can capture your film and experience it, the better, right? But it's nice when it resonates with with faith-based audiences as well because it really God really has a part to play in the film and just faith and having hope. So I love that that's what's happening for you. But my question is, what is next for you? What are you working on? What are you writing on? What's going on? Well, we need more of you.
Thank you. Thank you for that. What's next for me? I do have quite a few projects brewing, but my most immediate project is the feature version of Destiny's Road. Yes, the script I've been submitting to screenwriting competitions, and it's actually been doing quite well. It's placed in a few screencraft competitions. I'm currently a semi-finalist in the Screencraft Family Screenwriting Competition, waiting to hear about the next round with that. So that's next is sending it out to however many people I can get eyes on it and praying for financing.
Absolutely. Well, listen, I'm so glad. Listen, I think I'm so glad that you went in to make a feature about this. You're like, okay, can't do this right now. I'm gonna make a short, make this great short. It's getting entered to film festivals. It must feel like a really good sign when your film is being, selected for film festivals that you have a great feature ahead of you. You've got a really exciting project. Does that feel good? No. And are you glad you did that journey now of just trying it out at different festivals, getting selected, and look now it's a really great setup for you to make a feature, right?
Yeah, it's great because it shows me who my audience
Mhm.
is for the feature. Like I kind of had an idea, but the whole short film circuit has been very eye opening, and so now I can go into the feature version in a strategic way, like really know what audiences I can hit with the film, and it also gives me more data when I'm talking to potential investors.
Absolutely. And I just want to, say too, like you gave us a story that I wanted more of. Like I wanted to know more about this family. I wanted to know more about the journey. I wanted to see more of these characters. So I'm just telling you, I left wanting more. I need you to make this feature. Like, we need it. We require it, please. So it's always great when you've got characters that people, fall for and want to see more of. So, that's not an easy feat. So congratulations on, writing that. I'm just curious for you thus far in your career, is there if there are any filmmakers out there that want to follow in your footsteps, maybe have had, sort of a journey to get to where you are today to create the work that you've done. Is there any kind of advice that you would share with our audience and what you go by as a filmmaker to inspire our filmmakers out there?
Yes, I would say to not give up, regardless of what happens. For me, I came to Los Angeles with not a lot of connections, and also came with student loans. So I had to figure out how to survive. And sometimes my jobs were not in the entertainment industry, but I figured out a way to still create, still find time to create, still be disciplined, and still find ways to network. So I would say to them, find like-minded people to connect with and to create support groups with, join organizations that are based in your area of creativity, and most importantly, continue to make art, even if it's small,
Mhm.
even if you're shooting a 1 minute short film on your iPhone, or you only have 30 minutes a day to write, like find that time and just own that time.
Oh, amazing. So that's really such good advice. Well, listen, Kameishia, I'm so glad we had your film with us. Thank you for giving us the short version. We can't wait for the feature version, and wishing you lots of love and prayers to make this feature happen. And thanks for your wonderful talents. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.